In the heart of the Okavango Delta, where the raw, untamed spirit of Africa thrives, life is a ceaseless ballet between hunter and hunted. Under every thundering hoofbeat, under every silent rustle in the tall grass, the relentless truth of existence casts its shadow. For eons, the predator has held absolute dominion, its power etched into the very fabric of the savanna. But this time, something primal shifts. This time, the prey refuses to flee. No razor-sharp claws, no astonishing speed, only the undeniable strength of the collective and a simmering, defiant rage. In this ancient arena, in this unyielding contest, it is the hunter who may yet be forced into a desperate retreat, for the fury of the African buffalo, the formidable Black Death, is about to unleash its full, earth-shattering might. Far into the vast plains of northwestern Botswana, where ancient rivers flow not to the sea but vanish silently into the embrace of the Kalahari sands, the Okavango Delta emerges, a shimmering, verdant miracle amidst the parched earth. Each year, with the arrival of the Great Flood, billions of cubic meters of life-giving water cascade from the distant Angolan highlands. This deluge transforms the arid landscape into an astonishing, deep green labyrinth of meandering channels, expansive swamps, and countless floating islands brimming with life. Yet, this breathtaking beauty is deceivingly cruel. Within the very pulse of the Okavango lies a world of relentless hardship, an unforgiving crucible where every creature, from the smallest insect to the mightiest mammal, must fiercely contest for every single breath, every fleeting moment of survival. Here, beneath the golden African sun, shadows lengthen, and predators lie in wait, unseen yet omnipresent. As the first whispers of dawn paint the horizon, and the cool morning mist still clings stubbornly to the reedy edges of the lagoons, spectral, solid forms begin to materialize from the ethereal veil. These are the African buffalo, beasts of immense power and unyielding spirit. Their bodies are a testament to brute force, barrel-chested, with thick, muscular backs for stout, almost tree-trunk-like legs, all encased in a hide of dusty, obsidian-gray leather. Crowning their massive heads are formidable, sweeping horns. These aren't merely weapons. Their bases are fused together, forming a solid, unyielding boss, a natural, helmet-like shield, a feature distinctly belonging to the adult males, signifying their battle-hardened status. Their eyes, though deep and often appearing placid, betray a constant, unwavering glint of ancestral vigilance, reflecting millennia of survival against overwhelming odds. African buffalo are creatures of profound social order, living in vast, cohesive herds that can number from a few dozen to several hundred individuals, usually led by a seasoned, dominant male. Their existence is a constant, collective quest for sustenance, moving as one formidable phalanx across the savanna to find water and graze on the rich grasses, ever watchful for the myriad threats that stalk their domain. Within this intricate social fabric, mothers bond closely, forming smaller, protective groups to rear their vulnerable young. In stark contrast, the elder males, often bearing the scars of countless battles, frequently separate from the main herd, choosing a solitary existence or forming small, grizzled bachelor groups. As the mating season ignites, a primal tension grips the herd. The air thrums with challenges as dominant males engage in fierce, often brutal, contests to assert their supremacy and secure mating rights. For the African buffalo, their magnificent horns are far more than mere defensive instruments. They are potent symbols of raw power, hard-won authority, and the very continuation of their lineage. The enormous, fused boss, a marvel of natural engineering, is designed to absorb colossal impacts, bearing the brunt of earth-shattering blows without fracturing, allowing these formidable animals to survive and dominate in a world where only the strong endure. Suddenly, the savanna tremors as two young, impetuous bulls lock horns, their massive bodies colliding with a force that reverberates through the very ground. It is a clash not of malice, but of inherent male imperative. The battle, though devoid of blood, concludes swiftly. Yet, a reputation, a standing within the ancient hierarchy, has been irrevocably etched into the collective memory. In the silent, unspoken language of the buffalo world, victory needs no triumphant roars. All it demands is a single, deafening headbutt, a seismic impact powerful enough to command the immediate, awestruck silence of the entire savanna. The victor, his dominance unequivocally proven, earns the right to pass on his formidable genes, a crucial link in the unbreakable chain of buffalo survival. The breeding season transforms the herd, infusing it with a restless energy, a palpable anticipation. Female buffalo typically enter estrus only once a year, and when selecting a mate, their instincts guide them unerringly towards those powerful males who have recently affirmed their strength in the brutal, ritualistic battles for dominance. After a gestation period of nearly a year, expectant mothers often seek out the dense cover of thick vegetation or secluded, protected pockets within the herd to give birth. Newborn calves emerge into the harsh light of Africa with a coat of soft, light brown fur and wobbly legs that tremble precariously. But nature, in its infinite wisdom, has prepared them for immediacy. Within mere hours, these fragile beings are capable of standing on their own, finding their mother's udder, and taking their first tentative steps. During these most vulnerable initial days, the calf remains a tightly guarded treasure, constantly encircled and protected by its mother, and the other vigilant females of their small group. In a world teeming with perils, the arrival of a new life is always a poignant blend of fragile hope and the stark, unrelenting challenge of fierce, moment-to-moment survival. Yet, despite their formidable collective strength and an unwavering spirit of unity, even the mighty African buffalo are not truly invincible. In the merciless crucible of the wild, there are always greater forces, ancient titans that compel even the most powerful to bow, to acknowledge an undisputed sovereignty. And so it is, that across the sun-scorched, shimmering plains, a colossal silhouette begins to etch itself against the horizon. Its very appearance commands a profound, visceral silence from the grazing buffalo herd, their innate wariness no longer a subtle instinct but a stark, undeniable dread. For this is the undisputed monarch of the savanna, the African elephant. A living, breathing symbol of absolute, geological power, its body a moving monolith of ancient strength. Towering up to 3 meters high and weighing over 6 tons, it is a creature that seems to defy the very laws of scale. Its coarse, gray skin, thick and wrinkled like an ancient shield, forms a natural, almost impregnable armor, offering robust protection against the relentless sun and the constant irritation of biting insects. The magnificent trunk, a marvel of biological engineering, is an exquisitely versatile tool, a dexterous hand, a keen olfactory organ, and, when provoked, a devastating weapon. Curving majestically from either side of its mighty mouth are the ivory tusks, not only indispensable for digging for roots and stripping bark from trees but also potent indicators of an individual's age, health, and social standing within the herd. Its enormous ears, like vast, leathery fans, constantly flap, orchestrating an intricate dance of thermoregulation, crucial in the searing heat. African elephants live in tightly knit matriarchal herds, typically led by a wise, elderly female whose memory is a living library of water sources and feeding grounds, passed down through generations. Their bonds are enduring, fiercely protective of their young, and woven with shared wisdom. Moving with the seasons, these colossal herds leave indelible marks on the earth, deeply carved paths, veritable highways bearing the undeniable imprint of their giant footsteps. Despite their often slow, deliberate gait, when roused to anger, an elephant can surge forward with astonishing speed, reaching up to 40 kilometers per hour. When the earth-shattering fury of an elephant is unleashed, no creature on the savanna, no matter how brave or formidable, dares to stand in its path. As the buffalo herd forges onward, a sudden, ominous stillness descends upon the landscape. The very air seems to thicken. In the distance, a massive, indistinct shape coalesces, resolving into the unmistakable form of a mature African elephant, its colossal frame already immersed at a nearby watering hole. The leading buffalo, its quest for water momentarily forgotten, pauses. Then, driven by an untested bravado, it begins to advance, inching closer. The quiet tension instantly shatters into a chaotic symphony of warning calls. Nearby impala and zebra scatter in a burst of panicked movement, instinctively recognizing the grave danger. This particular buffalo, young and full of an unearned pride, its arrogance never having been truly challenged, stands its ground. It defiantly ignores the deep, rumbling warnings emanating from the ancient giant, a primal growl that vibrates through the earth. Such an affront, such a blatant disregard for the undisputed hierarchy, has crossed an invisible line. With a seismic charge, the elephant surges forward. The confrontation is brutally swift, agonizingly decisive. Despite its formidable horns, despite its inherent strength, the young bull cannot withstand the sheer, overwhelming, tectonic fury of the giant. It crumples, a motionless heap, a stark, silent lesson etched onto the dusty ground. Beneath the relentless, scorching glare of the sun, the fine dust, kicked up by the brief, devastating encounter, slowly settles. A profound, almost indifferent silence once again embraces the entire landscape, as if nothing profound, nothing tragic, had ever occurred. Only the still, lifeless form of the young buffalo remains, the stark, silent monument to a challenge hurled against absolute power. In the unforgiving theater of the wild, raw courage, though admirable, is not always the sufficient currency for survival. An individual may fall, a life may be extinguished, but an indelible lesson is seared into the collective memory of the entire herd. Lone bravery, without wisdom, without respect for the established order, is a fatal flaw. The journey of survival, relentless and unending, must continue, for lurking beyond every blade of grass, in every shadow, are countless, unforgiving dangers. The eternal vigil, the constant struggle, resumes. And indeed, within the deceptive tranquility of the tall, whispering grasses, where shadows lengthen and morph, unseen architects of fate patiently await their opportune moment. For the predators of Africa never truly slumber. Their vigilance is as enduring as the sun itself. Behold the lion, the undisputed monarch, the regal, dominant hunter of the vast savanna. Its formidable physique is a masterpiece of evolution, a massive, muscular body, rippling with coiled power, clad in a coat of golden-brown fur that allows it to dissolve seamlessly into the sun-drenched, parched grasslands. The male is instantly identifiable by his magnificent mane, a thick, often dark gold to rich black collar of hair that frames his head like a royal crown. This impressive adornment not only confers an aura of majestic authority but also serves as a crucial protective shield during the brutal, often bloody, territorial disputes and fierce battles for mating rights. The lioness, in contrast, possesses a more slender, agile form, devoid of the male's imposing mane. It is she who embodies the very essence of the hunter, taking on the primary and most crucial role in the relentless pursuit of prey, providing for the pride with unmatched cunning and ferocity. Lions are creatures of complex social intelligence, living in prides with a meticulously structured society, typically comprising a few powerful males, numerous lionesses, and their boisterous offspring. Each pride lays claim to a vast territory, its boundaries delineated by resonant roars that can echo for miles across the plains, and the subtle, yet unmistakable, scent markings of urine. The males bear the weighty responsibility of protecting this domain, and its vulnerable cubs from encroaching rivals and other dangers. The lionesses, the matriarchal core of the pride, are the tireless providers, the skilled hunters, and the nurturing force behind the perpetuation of their lineage. This species excels in cooperative hunting, executing intricate, synchronized strategies to bring down formidable prey such as zebra, wildebeest, buffalo, and even the young of larger animals like giraffes or elephants. Their hunting strategy is a masterclass in stealth and tactical precision. They move with an almost ethereal silence, utilizing the varied terrain and the direction of the wind to remain entirely undetected. Some lionesses will skillfully act as decoys or drive the prey, while others meticulously position themselves to ambush from the flanks or rear, ensuring a fatal encirclement. They prefer to operate under the cloak of night or during the cool, shadowed hours of early morning, when their prey is often less alert, and the cover of darkness offers a decisive advantage. When the ancient urge to procreate takes hold, during the mating season, the dynamics within the pride shift dramatically. The males engage in ferocious, often savage, contests to reaffirm their dominant position. These battles, a terrifying ballet of flashing claws and tearing fangs, are brutally fierce, a raw display of power and genetic imperative. The victorious male earns the coveted privilege of mating with the lionesses within the pride, ensuring the continuation of his formidable lineage. Lionesses carry their young for approximately 110 days, typically giving birth to a litter of 1 to 4 cubs. These tiny, vulnerable creatures are born with a soft, spotted coat, providing ephemeral camouflage amidst the dense undergrowth where they are meticulously hidden. For their first few weeks, the cubs are kept secreted away, shielded from the myriad threats posed by rival predators like hyenas, leopards, or even unfamiliar male lions, who might pose a threat to the pride's established hierarchy. A unique and heartwarming aspect of lion society is the communal care. Lionesses within the same pride often nurse and collectively raise each other's cubs, forging a deeply bonded, cooperative maternal community. The lion, in every fiber of its being, embodies a potent fusion of sheer strength, unparalleled strategic prowess, and a profound, complex sense of familial affection. They do not merely dominate by brute force, but by the sophisticated artistry of cooperation and an unwavering social cohesion, cementing their status as one of nature's most organized and terrifyingly effective predatory species. And now, their piercing gaze is fixed upon a new target, the formidable buffalo herd, moving deliberately across the sun-baked grasslands. The lion pride, a cohort of silent, golden specters, glides almost imperceptibly through the shimmering, sun-scorched savanna grass. Each piercing, amber eye is locked with chilling precision onto the unsuspecting buffalo herd grazing in the hazy distance. There is no sound, no hint of a rush, only the synchronized thumping of powerful hearts and the hot, controlled breaths hidden beneath every rustling blade. The lionesses, the strategic masterminds of the hunt, fan out with an unnerving, almost liquid grace, their powerful bodies low to the ground, melting into the dense, dry grass. Their tawny gold coats render them virtually invisible, like formless shadows weaving through the landscape. Eyes riveted to their chosen targets, every muscle flexed, every movement executed with absolute, deadly precision. This is a life-or-death chess game, played out on the grand stage of the savannah, where a single misstep means failure, even starvation. Ahead, 2 buffalo, perhaps a little too complacent, a little too eager for a patch of greener grass, have unwittingly strayed from the protective embrace of the main herd. They pause, heads lowered, utterly oblivious to the tightening noose of danger that is slowly, inexorably closing around them. For a few agonizing moments, just before the coordinated pounce, the air around them crackles with an almost unbearable tension, thick with the scent of impending violence. Then, with an unexpected, explosive defiance, one of the buffalo lets out a guttural bellow and throws its mighty horns with astonishing force. 2 lionesses, caught utterly off guard by this fierce, unyielding resistance, stumble back, momentarily disoriented. The carefully orchestrated hunt, the culmination of patience and strategy, is abruptly, decisively halted. Faced with the lightning-fast regrouping of the enraged buffalo herd, their collective fury a tangible force, the lionesses, recognizing the shift in momentum, wisely and silently withdraw, melting back into the concealing embrace of the tall grass. Beneath the deepening, somber hues of the late afternoon sun, the sudden silence that descends upon the savannah is not one of peace, but of a profound, lingering tension, a testament to a confrontation against formidable, ancient hunters. But this time, a momentous shift has occurred. The prey, far from being resigned to its fate, has risen in an enraged, defiant stand. They would no longer simply lie still, awaiting their inevitable demise. On this vast, untamed savanna, it is not always the sharpest fangs or the most lethal claws that ultimately dictate the outcome. When the heavy, thunderous footsteps of the triumphant buffalo herd finally settle, the Okavango savannas resume a different rhythm, a softer cadence, yes, but one imbued with a heightened, profound vigilance, forever changed by the memory of defiance. Not far from the resettled buffalo, an altogether more ethereal presence graces the golden-tinged fields. Delicate, curving horns sway gently in the breeze, catching the amber light. These are the antelopes, creatures that, unlike the immense, muscular buffalo, embody a breathtaking, almost poetic fragility. They possess neither the brute strength nor the imposing horns of their bovine counterparts, yet they carry an inherent grace, a soft beauty, and an indomitable, resilient vitality. With their elegantly slender bodies, coats of sleek golden brown or pale gray, and the exquisite, clean lines of white and black marking their flanks, antelopes appear to be woven from the very light and movement of the grassland itself. Their long, impossibly slender legs are instruments of astonishing agility, allowing them to spring into breathtaking leaps and accelerate to blistering speeds. Their upright, constantly swiveling ears, like sensitive antennae, ceaselessly pivot, attuned to the minutest whisper of sound. And their large, liquid eyes, luminous with perpetual alertness, are always scanning, always searching the distant horizons where every conceivable danger might suddenly emerge. Antelopes typically live in large, fluid herds that can swell to several hundred individuals, a living, breathing testament to collective vigilance. They are inherently gentle, exquisitely wary, and their gaze never wavers from the dynamic panorama of their surroundings. Yet, it is precisely this poignant fragility, this inherent vulnerability, that renders them such an irresistible and frequent target for virtually every large predator that stalks these plains. Whenever a lion pride manifests its terrifying presence, the resulting symphony of panicked antelope hooves thunders across the savanna like a sudden, crashing wave, a visceral, wordless ode to the eternal struggle between life and instantaneous death. Though no direct familial bonds connect them, the antelope and the buffalo, through an ancient, unspoken covenant, inadvertently weave themselves into a powerful, natural defensive network. The buffalo, with their acute sense of smell and robust defensive instincts, act as grounded sentinels. The antelope, conversely, excel with their incredibly keen eyesight and their unparalleled ability to detect danger from vast distances. When a single antelope startles, its sudden movement ripples across the entire field, setting off a cascade of reactions. And when a formidable buffalo abruptly freezes, the entire herd follows suit, creating a pause that forces lurking predators to instantly recalibrate their carefully planned approach. This silent, symbiotic relationship, this profound, intertwined vigilance, is not born of friendship, but from the deep, ingrained wisdom of millennia of shared survival instincts. Both species instinctively understand that in this unforgiving wilderness, to truly survive, no creature can afford to stand alone. But this wild, untamed realm is not solely the domain of formidable, solitary hunters like the lion or the lightning-fast cheetah. There are other, more spectral hunters, insidious shadows that weave through the cloak of night. They command no absolute strength, no singular, overwhelming power, yet they possess a terrifying arsenal of boundless patience and sheer, devastating numbers. And sometimes, it is precisely these creatures, with their chilling effectiveness, who sowed the deepest seeds of terror. Enter the spotted hyena, a predator of bizarre yet astonishingly efficient appearance, a creature perfectly adapted to its ruthless role. Its body is robust and powerful, yet oddly configured, rising high at the powerful shoulders and sloping sharply downwards towards the hindquarters. Its front legs are noticeably longer than its rear, bestowing upon it a distinctive, hunched gait, as if it is perpetually lurking, perpetually stalking. Its coat is a mosaic of yellowish-gray, peppered with irregular, dark brown spots, providing excellent camouflage in the dappled light. Its large, upright ears are constantly swiveling, hyper-attuned to every sound, and its impossibly wide jaws conceal a crushing bite that ranks among the strongest in the entire mammalian world, a formidable tool for both hunting and scavenging. Spotted hyenas live in highly sophisticated clans, organized under a strict, unyielding matriarchal rule, where the females, larger and more dominant than the males, command absolute authority in both social roles and mating rights. Their reproductive cycle is continuous, with females typically giving birth to 1 to 3 cubs after approximately 110 days of gestation. These astonishingly precocial cubs are born with their eyes already open and their milk teeth already formed, poised, from their very first breath, to enter and contend within this fiercely competitive and unforgiving world. Unlike many predators who rely on explosive speed or a single, fatal blow, spotted hyenas employ a strategy of relentless attrition. They methodically wear down their prey. Their endurance is legendary. They can pursue a target for many kilometers under the scorching, relentless sun, maintaining an unwavering, machine-like rhythm of breath and stride. When they finally launch their attack, the entire clan operates as a chillingly coordinated unit, splitting to surround, flank, and attack their victim from multiple, relentless directions. Their preferred prey includes agile antelopes, swift zebras, hardy warthogs, and ever opportunistic, they will readily consume carrion left by other predators. Wasting no conceivable opportunity, the spotted hyena, a relentless, often macabre, custodian, plays a vital, albeit often overlooked, role in maintaining the health and cleanliness of this unforgiving ecosystem. And now, as the life-giving sun begins its slow, majestic descent, painting long, ethereal shadows across the vast Okavango savanna, a formidable buffalo herd moves purposefully towards a distant, shimmering watering hole. A faint, almost imperceptible sound whispers from the dense, thorny bushes nearby. It is not the rustling of the wind, nor the familiar, rhythmic thud of a zebra's hooves. It is a precise, organized movement, a chilling symphony of silent intent, quiet as the very breath of encroaching darkness. The entire savanna seems to hold its collective breath, suspended in a moment of hushed, primal anticipation. In the distance, spectral shadows move with agonizing slowness, generating not a single sound. The hyena clan, a silent, disciplined phalanx, systematically spreads out, weaving its way through the crackling, dry grass. The space immediately surrounding the unsuspecting buffalo herd erupts into sudden, terrifying pandemonium. Gut-wrenching bellows of alarm tear through the air, hooves pound frantically against the earth, kicking up choking clouds of dust. The panicked buffalo, disoriented and terrified, desperately seek an escape route, but the inexorable encirclement has already been sealed. The hyenas, masters of psychological warfare, do not rush. They merely wait, patiently biding their time. A lone bull, perhaps older, perhaps injured, lags behind, unable to keep pace with the terrified stampede. The hyenas, their eyes gleaming with cold, predatory intent, swiftly surround him, a grim, silent pact, waiting for the slow, inevitable collapse of their chosen prey, its fate seemingly sealed, its demise all but certain. But this time, something ancient, something profound, stirs within the collective consciousness of the buffalo. This time, the herd, in an astonishing display of defiance, pivots as one. They do not flee, instead, they charge, a terrifying, unified assault directly towards the waiting predators. The hyena clan, caught entirely off guard by this unprecedented, collective fury, falters. Their intricate formation dissolves into chaos as they scatter, howling in disarray, retreating in a panicked, uncoordinated retreat. The brutal, calculated hunt abruptly ends, swallowed by a wave of unexpected pandemonium. A thunderous roar echoes across the grassland, but this time, It emanates not from the retreating hunters, but from the victorious, counter-attacking prey. The warrior buffalo stand amidst the swirling dust, their forms unyielding, like an ancient, living fortress. Not a single one has been left behind, not a single one has fallen. On this hallowed ground, this ancient savanna, there are profound moments that force even the most formidable hunters to pause, to look away in grudging acknowledgement. And there are rare, golden days when the sheer, unyielding power of courage, collective will, and defiance far outweighs the sharpness of fangs or the lethal precision of claws. As the sun, a fiery orb, finally dips below the horizon, it paints the vast grassland in hues of blood red and deep orange. The buffalo herd stands in a robust, unbreakable circle, their massive bodies forming an impenetrable shield around the younger, weaker, and more vulnerable individuals. There are no triumphant bellows, no celebratory roars, only the profound, resonant silence of life preserved, secured by the unwavering power of solidarity. The sun slowly, ceremoniously, disappears, leaving behind only the lingering scent of churned earth and the hurried, adrenaline-fueled heartbeats of the survivors. But this time, the prey did not run. They did not fall in silent despair. Their resistance rose like a sudden, furious storm, not born of fangs and claws, but forged from proud, battle-scarred horns and hearts that beat as one, united in an unshakable will to survive. The buffalo herd has risen, their individual strengths coalescing into a single, unyielding, indomitable force. No longer are they solitary, vulnerable individuals, but an unvanquishable front. When the predators retreated, silence returned to the savanna. But it was no longer the silence of fear, of submission, but the lingering, powerful echo of tenacious, hard-won resistance. This is wild Africa, raw and magnificent. Here, even the prey knows how to rage, how to fight, and how to unequivocally refuse to surrender. Nature, in its boundless majesty, continues to weave countless, enthralling sagas of survival. Subscribe to this channel and activate the notification bell to ensure you never miss another unforgettable moment within the untamed heart of the wild.